Good day, Mayor Davis and Councillor Carpenter. This is a John Noble Home update. I received a call from the administrator about visiting my wife Alice. To say the least, it was very disappointing. To tell me that I have to make an appointment to visit my own wife is ludicrous. And then only behind a screen, 6 feet apart for an allotted time, while wearing a mask. It's very demeaning and part of a socialist dumbing us down policy. These are rules you would find in a federal prison and are totally unacceptable in a democratic society.
Yeah.
Go where you want to go, do what you want to do.
Woo! Everyone's excited to have us here, including us. So I'm Chrissy Van Alstein from Druthers News Media. We're here today outside the John Noble home covering some things that people don't really know what's going on in these long-term care facilities and what's actually happening to our elders. So Stanford Lee is here today and they're going to be shedding some light on some things that you might not know about. So stick with us.
Just a quick note on housekeeping, guys. We want to respect this home, respect this property, respect this front pathway here. So we're not going to park there. We're going to, guys, if everyone could stand off and onto the sidewalk, that would be just amazing. And yeah, we're just going to assemble here, get ready, and we'll begin. Thanks so much.
Look at this. Look at the love. Look at the love already showing up here today, guys. Like, look at this. We have people showing up bringing signs and people showing up bringing hearts. Let love in. That's literally what we're here about, because today when we're going to talk about what's going on here, it's about the fact that the seniors aren't allowed to have anybody come in and visit them. But we're here to say, we need to let love in so many ways, and this is one of the ways. I love it. Human touch. Choose love. Oh. I was just coming over to say hi. Sorry, were you the gentleman who made the signs?
These?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
These are beautiful. We're from Druthers News. My name's Chrissy.
Oh,
We're
hi,
just coming
Chrissy.
over to say hi and thank you for making the signs.
Oh, I was glad to do it.
Yeah.
Well, I was unfortunately I was glad to do it. I mean, I don't want to have to. I mean, it's sad that I have to do something like this.
Well, thank you for doing it. And
I've
yes,
got my new druthers.
yeah, Druthers are everywhere here today, it seems. That's
Be handing
awesome.
them out.
Yay! Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for making the signs. Just want to come over and give you a personal thank you.
The No More Lockdowns Brantford, the Facebook group. So we have that.
Awesome.
Obviously tomorrow.
Coming out tomorrow.
We've got absolutely.
Cool.
Yeah, we're part of running the billboard, the part of the group, part of the So I'm involved in that and a handful of other groups.
Awesome. What was your name? Your first name?
Dano.
Dano. May I hug you, Dano?
Absolutely.
Thank you for making the signs.
I'd
Thank
be
you for coming out. Thank you for all you're doing to help spread
Be
the love.
offended if I didn't get a hug.
Aw.
Can I get a hug? Absolutely.
Let's go see what we got up here. So this is interesting. Attention all visitors. We are experiencing an outbreak. Help us protect your loved ones. Follow all precaution signs as posted or speak to staff members. Limit your visit to one resident and avoid common areas. Clean your hands with sanitizer before and after leaving the resident's room, after coughing, sneezing, blowing their nose, before exiting the building. Do not use resident washrooms, use visitor washrooms. Okay.
We also have Canadian Frontline Nurses with us today. We have Sarah Chajugian and Kristen Negla. And we have Harold. And Harold is really the star of the show today, and he's the gentleman who's inspired this whole event. So thank you to Harold.
This letter is dated Wednesday, August the 5th, 2020. Good day, Mayor Davis and Councillor Carpenter. This is a John Noble Home update. I received a call from the administrator about visiting my wife Alice. To say the least, it was very disappointing. To tell me that I have to make an appointment to visit my own wife is ludicrous. And then only behind a screen, 6 feet apart for an allotted time, while wearing a mask. It's very demeaning and part of a socialist dumbing us down policy. These are rules you would find in a federal prison and are totally unacceptable in a democratic society.
Yeah.
For myself and many others that have loved ones in nursing homes that are now prisons, it has become very personal. I have not had the freedom to care for Alice for 5 months as of this writing. It's been over a year now, with no change in sight. This gentleman is outrageous and criminal, and it needs to be stopped immediately. The only reason I admitted Alice into the John Noble home is that I could no longer physically care for her after 6 years with very little sleep and tremendous stress, not knowing that after 5 months of admitting her, our freedom together would completely be cut off. The thought of waiting to see Alice in a coffin is nauseous. We need each other more now than ever. She is depending on me and thinks that I have deserted her. That is very stressful for both of us, and stress further compromises the immune system.
Yes.
Alice is failing faster since she has been deprived of the critical companionship, nutrition, sunshine, exercise, and fresh air that her body so desperately needs. I receive more frequent reports of her falling and pains, etc. When you deprive someone of the very thing they need to maintain health and to sustain life itself, and you have the answer and are refused access, that too is criminal and a form of killing, as sure as a slow drip of a poisonous substance. Alice and I said our wedding vows before God, not man, in which I promised to love her and care for her. Also, the words, "Let no man put asunder," were also said. I make no apology for being blunt. With me, it's black or white, truth or lie. There is no gray in between areas. Science is not assumptions. The pandemic is a great fraud down to the root of its poisonous tree.
Yes.
Stop acquiescing to the illusion of power. Take off the masks. Freedom is a God-given right. Look up beyond the few that are pulling the strings. God is still in control, and justice is very near. Thank you.
Good job. Woo! It's a good thing you didn't want to talk publicly. He said he was going to compress it in 15 seconds. My name is Sarah Shujunian. I've been a nurse since 2004. I worked in a nursing home for the greater part of my career. I loved my job. It brought me hundreds of grandparents who shared their wisdom with me and gave me love I cherished greatly. I've cried many tears and had the privilege to share precious last moments with countless residents and their families. I'm so grateful and humbled to have had a chance to experience all that genuine love. One thing that always disturbed me about nursing homes, though, is how obvious it is that the government doesn't put much value on these seniors. Their diets consist of powdered eggs, canned mandarins, cheap box pudding, and flavored sugar water. It's very obvious. It's very obvious that the purpose of nursing homes is not for giving our elderly the best care possible, but to try and get as much of a profit as possible out of them. That's why a huge red flag went up in my head on the day the government decided to shut down the entire economy to protect these same vulnerable people. The government seems to have completely forgotten that they work for us and not the other way around. Amen. Today we are here as guardians of the elderly to remind them of this fact, and we demand that our seniors' rights be restored by immediately allowing families back into the homes and giving their rights back to power of attorneys so that they can get back at being the crucial decision makers that they were appointed to be. Our elderly are not just useless eaters who should be used for profit. They're extremely precious, filled with love, wisdom, and experience. They've been here for us all along. Now they need us. They need for us to take a stand for them. Please, stand in your power. Be brave and speak up for them. It's literally a matter of life and death. I have a vision of all seniors being free, surrounded by all their loved ones, and everyone is peaceful and happy. I encourage you all to envision the same and take the actions necessary to advance our mission. Be bold and dare to stand in truth. If each and every one of us can do that, there is no limit to what we can achieve. Together, we can and we will create the changes necessary to protect and preserve our humanity. Let's do this. Who's with me? Thank you.
So to wrap this up, what we're going to do is we're going to very peacefully and respectfully, we're going to walk around the property to show our support to the people in the home.
Where's your car? You're going to your car?
Yes.
Where is your car? Okay, I'm going to walk with you. Yeah.
All right, looks like we're going for a walk around the premises to let these seniors know who are in here that they're not alone in there, even though they might feel like it, that we are here standing up to what's going on, speaking for them on their behalf. Being treated like prisoners is not acceptable. Absolutely not acceptable. I did see some faces up there earlier. Maybe we'll see some faces and give them some love from a distance, but we want them to know that we're here and that we're being their voice for them. This stuff has to end.
All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Love is all you need. Keep
Like that?
Yeah,
Okay,
I think
okay.
the biggest thing is that we have to reach out to the decision makers. And I know it seems like an impossible task because we're not being listened to, but there is a lot of traction right now in regards to the long-term care homes. CBC, CTV, Global, they've all been reporting on the challenges that the residents are facing. So now is the time to kind of ride on that wave and to continue to push with media, continuing to push with the decision makers, continuing to push with the long-term care homes. The measures that they've implemented they don't make any sense. Again, when the workers are able to come and go and go home to their families and go do whatever social activities they may or may not do and then come into the homes, there's no rationale for not allowing the families to do the same thing.
Absolutely.
So there needs to be some semblance of dialogue, and if we don't get that, then it has to be public push, because it seems that nobody else is willing to do that. The buck is being passed from public health to the Ministry of Health to the long-term care homes, and it's just, there's no answers, right? So we have to demand them, and if it means that we have to, come to these homes every weekend, I mean, I don't know, but we have to create that voice, and we have to start pushing back.
I did see earlier while the rally was happening, I did see someone who appeared to be a resident up in the windows kind of looking, and I was waving to them, but it appears now that they've closed the windows and the curtains, and the faces that we did see, we no longer can see them. So I mean, not only are they keeping them restricted inside and people can't come in and see them, but even when we're outside trying to say hello, they want to limit that too. It's a little bit rough to witness and watch. It's really unfortunate. Look who I found today out here with us, Amanda Forbes. So thanks for coming out. Did you want to share with us what brought you out today, or what your takeaway is from today?
Sure. I am actually from this area. It's been a slow uptake with what's going on, but I find with what's being shared with the farmers lately, there's a big interest in. It's growing. I'm just so proud of it. It's growing. We've spent I guess a year in Toronto, right? Ottawa, Toronto, and now it's kind of close to home, so I obviously have to show for the people of my area.
For sure. It was a pretty emotional get-together today. I mean, I was feeling it pretty hard. I saw a lot of tears in the crowd. If there was something that we could tell the people who'll be watching this, what would be a suggestion that you would want them to take heed with after watching what happened today?
You know what? It's a form of genocide. And it brings tears to my eyes as I say it. So it's a form of genocide. It's like they're trying to erase the history that these people know and can tell the younger generation of everything that's happened. History repeats itself, you guys, and if they get rid of the people that know the history, you don't know. The younger generations will never know. And between my generation and my parents' generation, they have no idea the struggles and the wars and, just the overall, I can't even.
Yeah, it's basically like they want everything to be kept quiet, and these people do have a history about them that they are, in a sense, trying to basically null and void. So I guess our takeaway is, we need to be loud and be the voice for the voiceless right now. So stand up, speak up. Don't let this be acceptable. Raise your concerns to these homes and push back, basically, because these poor people don't have their voices aren't being heard. Nothing's happening, so we need to be that voice for them to help them to be heard.
Yep. And when it comes down to it, I'm just doing my job, won't cut it in the end.
No, it's unacceptable. No more. Enough is enough.
Be who you want to be in freedom.